The lion's den is powerful.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase, God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, it's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you thought it well to come and join me on today. Yes, today is Tuesday, April the 26th in the year 2022. It is a good day. It's a great day. It is a marvelous day. It's a good day to be alive. I'm so glad that you joined me on today so we can have a little conversation and talk a little bit before you get your day started. I love you so much. Now, you know how we get this thing started. We like to look over and see who all came into the VIP section of the Lion's Den and give some mad love over there. Yes, it's some mad love for the people that came into the Lion's Den. I want to give it up first and foremost. Yes. We had the bus driver that came in reporting. Yes, the bus driver. came in reporting for duty this morning. And listen, that is none other than my guy. Yes, my guy. He came in this morning reporting for duty. Mufasa, otherwise known as Truck Driver. He's out here ready for work, baby. He reported. It was reported to me. Yes, he came out and he's ready to go to work. Now, I'm going to throw his picture up there just so y'all can see this handsome, fine looking man. Yes, there he is, y'all. There he is right there. James Sims, known to us as Truck Driver. That's my guy. So yes, he came in saying, I'm ready to drive the bus, y'all. I'm ready to drive the bus, and I appreciate you for that. He said, I'm running just a tad late, just a little bit late, but he's here. He's here, y'all. He's ready to transport you on this morning. Now, I also want to give it up, and here we go for the third person that was in the Lion's Den this morning. None other than Miss Fabulous. Miss Fabulous, thank you for coming in. That's our head usher. That's Mel Holiday. She's in the room and she was ready and waiting to get her lips, hips, and her fingertips on that love seat on this morning. You did that. Now, the second one that came in, listen, coming in talking about the poll, was none other than BTD Mom. BTD Mom, she's the second one in the room this morning, and she's hanging on the pole with that one leg. Yes, with one leg, she's hanging on the pole. And she said the coffee sure does sound great. Thank you so much for coming on in here, BTD Mom. And the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair is none other than DJ Onyx Heart. DJ Onyx Heart, you are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Come on and get your lips. Come on and get your hips. Come on and get your fingertips in that chair, because you did that. Yes. Give it up for DJ Onyx Heart. Tall Pumps, you heard Pole. Oh my God, y'all. Tall Pumps, she is the leader of the pack. You just might as well know. All she needs to do is hear the word Pole, and she's ready to go. So listen, you did it. You did. That's right, DJ Aurora Onyx Heart. I'm going to give it up for your love. He made it in the chair. The chair. He is the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. And we're going to give it up for you. That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Now, you know how we do it in here. Thank you, DJ Onyx Heart. Thank you, BTD Mom. Thank you, Miss Fabulous. And Truck Driver for coming on in here and getting the Lion's Den ready. Now, when we talk about the VIP section, it's just a matter of those that make a point to come in early to make sure there's plenty of love, soul, peace, and happiness in the Lion's Den when the rest of us get here. They just get us ready. They prep the room. I appreciate each of you. Now, you know how I like to do it. I like to give it up to my moderators. There she is, Shelly Thunder. You know who she is. Yes, that's my prophetess. That's my girl. She comes in and she brings in, she hangs it in here, baby. She comes in here with the anointing. She hangs with us in the Lion's Den. Appreciate you, Shelly Thunder. She's led by the leader of the pack, none other than our very own, the Rebel Inc. Yes, the Rebel Inc. She streamed. She had bangles on yesterday. She had service yesterday morning. If you're not following her, I want to encourage you to please follow her. She is on the journey to partner. Yes, she's on the push and a journey for partner. She's on her way. So you all, let's help her do that. Can we do that? Now, Michelle Brownell, I call her my quiet storm. She is our third part of the Three Musketeers, and I appreciate Michelle Brownell for what they bring into the Lion's Den. Appreciate every last one of you. Excuse me. I look like I'm gonna be a little horsey this morning. I'm gonna be just a little horsey. Daddy sang bass, mama sang tenor. Me and little brother just joined right in there. Now, come on. I want to give it up because today is the day, and I'm gonna pull this up so you all can see it. We've got DJ Onyx Heart, who was the first one bright and early this morning, bringing love, soul, peace, and happiness into the Lion's Den. Now, today is the day, you all, and I'm asking you to come hang with us. We are going to be in there. Yes, we're going to be in there, y'all. Here we go. I'm getting that ready so you can look at it. We're going to be in there sharing with the Heart Foundation today. Today is the day. Streamer Talk with STL today at 2:00 p.m. Eastern time. So for those of you that are in my time zone, that means that that's 1:00 for us on Central Time. 1:00 for us on Central Time. 2:00 Eastern. We will be with the Heart Foundation, y'all. We're gonna be up in there doing our thing. So I want to invite everybody that can to please come and support us in this endeavor as we just share love over in the Heart Foundation. All right, now let's get this party crack-a-lackin'. I can't wait for the show either, DJ Onyx Heart. I can't wait for the show either. You all know how we do it. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out, because we're going to have a little conversation on today. And then we're going to have another topic that we'll be discussing about transformative justice at the very end of the stream. So hang around, and you want to have this conversation with us because we're in a time of transformation. We are doing something different in this hour. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So I see your coffee cups, BTD Mom. I see you. DJ Aurora Onyx Heart. I see you. Stacy 546, I see you. Cassandra Roke 2022, I see you. MCP 812, I see you. SK 8843, I see you. Lovey 54, I see you. Y'all come on in here. Y'all doing this thing this morning. Crazy Berrytown is a streamer, and she will Zumba you to Zion. I see you, sis. Come on in here. She will be streaming today at, I believe, 9:30 Eastern, which will be 8:30 Central Time. We'll be coming over there to see you, and so much love coming to you, Crazy Berrytown. That's my beautiful sister. I just love her. Good, come on. Shelly Thunder is in the room. She said, good morning, Lions. Good morning. I see you. And I just want to give you so much love. 440 Shorty, I see you. Come on in the room. I'm appreciative of you being with us on this fine day. The Rebel Inc., I see you. DJ Onyx Heart, I see you. I'm coming up. An old manager done reported for duty. That's DJ Onyx Heart's poll name. Yes, we got brothers on the poll, not just the sisters. We are an equal opportunity employer, and we do have brothers on the poll. Come on, DJ Aurora Onyx Heart. Come on, The Gift, Nathan Lamont. I see you. Coming on up. I'm coming on up. MCP 812. I see you. Tall Pumps is pumping tall, and I see you. And yes, she's already on the pole. Y'all see the backside. She's already on the pole. I see you, and we're coming on up. Sheila Miles, I see you. Miss Fabulous, I see you. Come on in the room. I appreciate you for being in here today. I'm moving on up because I don't want to miss anybody. Seeing who came in bright and early this morning. I'm gonna keep scrolling to the top. Scrolling. I thought it was rolling, but anyway, I thought scrolling might work. Nonetheless, some of y'all don't know anything about Rawhide. Y'all don't know nothing about Rawhide. But anyway, for the youngsters, you'll understand it better by and by, and you may know rolling a little later on in your life. But all the old heads in here know all about rolling, Rawhide. Truck Driver 57, that's my Mufasa. The Lion King is in the room, and I see you, sir. I see you, and I'm so glad to have you in the room of the Lions on this fine day. Now I'm going on up. I think I'm just about to the top of the list here, and then we're gonna scroll and roll down. I got Rawhide in my spirit this morning for some reason. All right, now we're gonna come on down and see who came in while I was going upstairs, who came in through the basement. If there's anybody down here that I might have missed, we're gonna scroll down and rolling. We're gonna scroll down. Y'all, you can tell this is day. Y'all gonna have to bear with me because I got something stuck in my head, and it's gonna be hard to get it out. Now we're coming on down. I see you. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody before we get this party crack-a-lacking and get this party started. I just want you to know I'm always appreciative for everybody that comes in and spends time in the Lion's Den, because it's always glad. Oh, rolling, you with Tina, and we're rolling. Sometimes you needed to. Oh, okay, and we're rolling. Okay, here we go. You with Tina, I'm with you. We rolling on the river. So listen, you know, I lived in Bonner, so Rawhide was a little more. Okay, enough of that. Now, you know how we get this party started, and you know how we get this party crack-a-lacking. Let's get the music moving and playing, because you know I got to have a little song going in my heart while I'm talking. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Is anybody else rolling on the river? Now, this morning, it's reported to me. Yes, it's reported to me. We got a little bit to talk about on today before we get to transformative justice, because I'm telling you, I'm really advocating that the system has got to change. And so, you know, let's go ahead and start with the story about our brother that was eulogized and laid to rest on Saturday. Brother Leola, I believe his name. Another Popo killing, another situation where we got a chance to see the alleged, I feared for my life, and taking down the justice, the stopping of a brother. You all know the backstory. The stopping of the brother who, at the end of the day, I looked at a little bit of the funeral on Saturday. I didn't watch all of it. There was just so much grief and so much devastation. It might have been Friday. That might have been Friday. My days are all running together at this point. But you saw the devastation and the hurt and the pain of the family as they laid their loved one to rest. I believe, was my brother Jamaican? He came here from somewhere, some other country. He and his family moved here to United States, hoping for a better life, hoping for more opportunities, hoping to live and have a good life together as family. And lo and behold, yes, they find themselves a victim of police over-policing, let me put it like that. And the young man who was stopped for a minor traffic violation and infraction, who did try to run. We're not trying to change any of the narrative. He did try to run. The police officer ran after him. I did watch the video. For anybody that has not seen the video, it's very clear that at the end of the day, the officer and his lack of training really needs to be addressed, because there were so many opportunities for that police officer to de-escalate. I have to wonder, was there a language barrier? I don't know. I definitely know that at the end of the day, I feel like black men, especially when they're getting stopped out here in these streets, have a tendency to feel like, do I step on the gas and drive off? Do I try to run away? Because I fear for my life. While the Popo are saying they feel for their lives, I think our young black men, and maybe even some of our older black men, are fearing for their lives as well. And when you get that police stop, you just have no idea what level it's going to escalate to. We saw them as he ran, and the police officer ran after him and tased him. Now, there was a lot of conversation about the young man who did explain it to me, Lucy. He did reach out and take the taser away from the Popo. Now, why the Popo can't hold on to their weapons, that's a whole nother conversation. It wasn't a massive takedown and I'm gonna take this out of your hand. He managed to disarm the Popo of the taser, whereby they went on down and they ended on the ground. He had that young man down on his belly, and the man took out his gun. For those that saw it, Fairly all day, blessings to you. It is so good to see you. That's my sister. She is a mod extraordinaire. So much love coming into you. I appreciate you for being in the Lion's Den this morning. So much love, and thank you for those prayers. I receive every last one of them. God puts you on people's heart, you don't even know it. Now, at the end of the day, we literally, that watched the video, saw that police officer take out his gun and shoot that young man who he had down on the ground on his belly, We watched this police officer take that gun out and shoot that man in the back of his head, execution style. Now, there's fear. Fear is killing us. We the Black at Risk Nation, our lives matter. Absolutely, Cassandra Woke. And so at the end of the day, we saw this police officer. Oh, I love you so much, Fairly. We saw this police officer take out his weapon and shoot this young man smack dab in the middle, the back of his head. Now, this is again for a routine traffic stop of some kind of violation. I don't remember if it was a alleged switch tag. I think it was something like that. Because at the end of the day, I said, number one, was he driving his car? It could have been a borrowed vehicle. Number two, did he know the tags were switched? There have been instances of people, I've gotten in people's car and driven away and not had any inkling, any second thought, is this properly registered and tagged? I just get in the car and drive. Those are questions that come to my mind. And I think at the end of the day, for everybody, why did he run? Listen, if you're a black man and you get stopped by a police officer in these days and times, and really I shouldn't even say in these days and times, the whole time that we've had a policing system, I'm sure there's something down inside of your shondo that even when you stay and don't run away, something in your shondo wants to run because you don't have any idea what that outcome is going to be. Well, we saw the situation and we saw the case unfold before us. And so the question about what's going to happen with this police officer is still out there floating in the wind. Because again, we saw the video and there was a span of time, I do believe, where the police officer on this, let's put him on leave, but he's not actually losing any money, and then we'll put him someplace else and bring him back as if nothing happened kind of scenarios that just keep happening in the black community. And there was outrage, there were protests, there were groups that gathered in the streets and made noise to say, no, this is not right, this will not work, this is not going to fly. Yes, let me give that to you. And thus we are where we are today, trying to see, is there going to be justice for this young brother that was shot in the back of his head as he lay on the ground? So, we've got work to do. There's so much yet, and that probably precipitated some of my conversation that I decided to have on this morning and on this week. We're going to be talking about transformative justice because something's got to change. And, at the end of the day, Stacy 546 comes in so frequently, and she is a sister from the blue. She comes in so frequently when we have these types of conversations and addresses it needs to be torn up from the ground up as far as our police department. But I'm going to start talking to you about other directions of how we can police ourselves and how we can come up with other manners and means of providing proper safety in our own communities without the popo coming in. Because I believe, as we left on last week, our police department here in KC Mo had closed out the cold case unit, which again covers most of our black people that have cases on the books that are still unsolved, unresolved, and nobody's looking for nobody, in my opinion. But when you close, just leave, the chief of police is leaving, and when, as I go out the door, I'm going to close down the cold case department. So we're not even going to look, we're not even going to pretend, we're not even going to give the pretense and pretext that we're looking for y'all's killers. Just shut it down. So that's what he did on his way out the door, and then turned around, and the police board of commissioners said, okay, now we're going to open this up to people from the radius of 50 to 75 miles, which takes us into rural communities, and bring you in and allow you to now start policing in the urban core, where not only do you not live, you don't know the culture, and you could care less about the people. So, these are the types of things, SK, I see you. It's enough to make you mad and make you cry all at the same time. These are the types of things things that are still going on, and why I'm saying we've got to start looking more at transformative justice as a means and a measure of dealing with crime, because the current system is nothing more than a slavery mill to get black and brown bodies, especially, and other people that are impoverished in a state of slavery called the prison system. So we're going to continue talking about that, but I wanted to address that for anybody that has not heard that story. It's been all over the news. I don't know how you did not hear about it over the weekend. I just chose not to talk about it on Friday. I didn't know that the funeral was up and coming. So many of you may have seen the funeral as well, because I think it was on almost all the major channels. And it was just devastating to know that this young black man, I believe he was 26 years old, lost his life over a routine traffic stop. So there we go. That's how we're going to start this Tuesday morning, because it's time to make a change, and we are the people who can do it. Now, the next story that came out this morning, you all remember the young 14-year-old boy that got on that ride in Florida and was not secure because he was well over 100+ pounds overweight, and they put the baby on the ride anyway. And I saw that video as well when it first came out, and you could see, number one, the person that was supposed to do the locking in and securing and checking and double checking of the equipment was so busy talking and running his mouth, he never went to check the young man's equipment, and as it would be, unfortunately, this young child got on the ride, thought he was strapped in, locked in, went up, and on the way back down, anybody that saw that video, it was definitely graphic, because not only did you see him falling out of the ride, you heard him hit the ground. Yes, you literally heard his body slam that concrete when he hit the ground. And again, you have no inkling. He had gone with his group of some sort. I don't remember if it was school, some kind of sporting team, I don't know, but it was a group of them that had traveled to Florida for an event. You don't think that when you send your child on an event, you're going to get a call in the middle of the night saying your child is deceased. So as of this morning, as of last night, the family has now sued the park, the person that made the company rather that made the ride, and so many others that have been named in that lawsuit to recoup damages for the loss of life of that young man who really never should have been placed on that ride. And so at the end of the day, as I understand, the people that were with them, every other ride had denied him. Oh yeah, DJ Aurora Onyx Heart. It makes you sick. The other places told him he could not ride. Every time they would go to a different ride, he would ask. They would ask, was he able to get on this ride? They were told yes, he could ride this particular ride that he got on. And you know, at the end of the day, a 14-year-old, the young man was portly. But at the end of the day, he wanted to ride like the rest of his friends were riding, and they told him it was okay for him to ride, and this was a ride that he could ride. This is what he was told by the people there on that particular ride, that he could ride. Excuse me. So at the end, tragedy, Cassandra Woke 2022. And so definitely, in my opinion, that place needs to be held accountable. Now, the theme park immediately came out denying as soon as it happened. And this is another scenario, you guys, where some random person that was really just videoing happened, and I think they were next in line. You could see it was so egregious. You could see even after he hit the ground, you could see the park personnel, these young folks that were running the ride, and then those, as people were screaming, call the ambulance, and you could see the people in the park personnel staff just kind of wandering and meandering about like they were confused and didn't know what to do, like they'd had no training, no kind of if something happens in case of emergency. I mean, it just looked like just a clown train wreck that had happened as this baby just lie in the ground, and somebody just randomly happened to be standing there and took a picture of all of it. So at the end of the day, I keep telling you all, and sometimes I know even myself, I have recently been in a situation when my mother passed where I really, as I think back in retrospect, it's like, man, there was a situation specifically that happened that I was like, man, I should have camcorded that. I should have videoed that so it could be seen. I know a lot of times when you're in that situation, your brain just kind of shifts into neutral and you're just really trying to process it. Like, is this really happening? Is this really going on? But listen, if it's you or if you have some friends with you that somebody can have a presence of mind, I promise you and I encourage you, pull that camera out, because it's this video footage that had already gone viral. That video went viral right after that event happened, to the extent I understand how the family found out what happened, because somebody had seen it, contacts were made, and there you have it. Not the way you want to find out that your child is deceased, and then definitely not that you want to sit there and see this video of this young man, watch him fall to his death. And I contend probably the most traumatic part of that video to me was hearing the impact on the concrete. So that is actually, the cameras are our friends. Come on. And that's how we document important info. I want to stress that if you can remember, and I'm telling you, there is that place where when you're in a situation and that trauma is initially unfolding, sometimes the presence of mind to pull out your camera and start recording, it may take a moment, but just try, if you will, try to start training your brain. Situation you feel uncomfortable with, situation you think is not going to end right or potentially could have issues, pull that camera out, because that camera has been our friends. And that's exactly how I think they're going to be able to hold this a fairground or amusement park accountable, because they immediately came out the next day just lying through their teeth. And again, as we said, don't believe your lying eyes. We stood there and we watched. DJ Leo the Great, thank you for the resub. And DJ Leo the Great is a streamer, y'all. Please follow him. DJ Onyx Heart is a streamer. Please follow him. DJ Onyx Heart, Aurora Onyx Heart, she is a streamer. Please follow her. And thank you for that resub. And BT Deep Mom, I saw you 19 months strong on that resub earlier on. Thank you for that resub as well. So I just wanted to touch on those points, y'all. I just wanted to touch on the idea that I want and am asking you, as you start coming into a different reality in these days and times, camera. And that's all I can say. If you can gather your thoughts and pull yourself together, camera. Because even the real situation of how the young man that was killed and shot in the back of the head as he lay on the ground, it was a camera that actually got the whole entire recording of the incident. That's really going to make a difference for the family in suing the police officer or suing the police force and going to trial. So, camera. I cannot tell you enough. These are the days and the times where the camera is your friend. All right. Now, I'm gonna move from those two tragic stories, and I just wanted to start with that because that's going to set us up. We are going to talk about transformative justice later on in this conversation, but I just wanted to bring out for you why we're asking for transformative justice instead of our current methods, because we need change. Bring your camera and capture the action. Come on here, Cassandra. I'm so serious about that. I just don't know how much I can stress that point Anytime you feel like something's going down, and my situation was a medical situation, but anytime you feel like something's going down and you need a record, get your camera out and roll that beautiful bean footage, because it may help you after a while. Now, I want to come to the topic and conversation that is really probably one of, even more so than the Ukraine and the war going on over there. The bigger story, if you haven't heard it already, Elon Musk did buy Twitter for 44 million buckaroos. Yes, Elon Musk has purchased Twitter for $44 million, or billion. I'm sorry. It's billion with the B. Let me get that right. Don't let me misspeak that. Now, this is where I'm just like, where is the United States going to stop with the egregious behavior of this world being run by folks that have money? Just like, at the end of the day, this man, he is just swimming in the dough and going out here doing everything that he wants to do. And I'm looking and I'm saying, y'all, pay attention. Now, what you see happening immediately after he purchased was people saying, I'm leaving Twitter. And that's a big topic that is trending on Twitter right now. People are saying, I'm leaving Twitter. Yeah, I want y'all to get a good picture. I want y'all to get a full picture of him. Now, this is the thing. As we identify this scenario, I want us to understand that we're now having an argument between the left and the right. You might have to just leave Twitter too, Rebel Inc. This is what the right is saying. The right is saying, y'all just talking. It's a whole bunch of talk. Y'all not going nowhere. And so at the end of the day, I hear you talking, but you're talking loud and you're saying nothing. So they are equating it, because the fear, if I can say, and concern is that with his alleged connection to Trump, that this may be an opportunity for Trump to put his hind parts back on Twitter. And so there you have all of the issue about people that are saying, no, we're not getting ready to have it. So, but this is the thing. This is the conversation. I'm leaving Twitter is trending, but the right is basically saying, yeah, just like y'all said y'all was leaving the country if Trump won the 2016 election, and y'all's lips, hips, and fingertips didn't go nowhere. It's just a bunch of talk. It's just a bunch of this is you bumping your gums. So at the end of the day, this is where really I want to say the right, who is taking a tremendous stance in saying, y'all just talking, y'all ain't going nowhere. Shut up talking to me, and shut up with all the big talk, because you ain't about to do nothing. So this is where now there's a lot of conversation as so many people are saying, I'm leaving Twitter. The issue and the question is, are you going anywhere? And they're like, no, y'all ain't going nowhere. It's just a whole bunch of talk. So, at the end of the day, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, this is yesterday's conversations. The millennials talked about it on yesterday on Reboot. The conversation popped up this morning. I just wanted to go again, and I want to say to those of you that are saying, I'm going to cancel my Twitter. The challenge is being put up to you that you ain't going nowhere. Are you really going to challenge, put up or shut up? So this is where the rubber meets the road, and it is now an issue of the right versus the left. She said bye. Bye. At the end of the day, the question begs, is there going to be a follow through on the action? Because as they said, yeah, that's what you said about Trump. Did none of y'all go to Canada? None of y'all went to all these other places and countries countries that you said you were going to go to. Shut up or put up. Now, I'm going to put that challenge out there to you because, baby, I can tell you and I can show you. And actually, that's what this meme is. It's somebody from the far right who is basically, challenging that at this point in time, they feel very much emboldened that they've made a comeback and that things are looking good for them. Now, you never had a Twitter and you never will. I hear you, DJ Aurora Hart. There are many, many people that do. At the end of the day, that's trending and folks are talking about it. Now, I see you all saying you're going to cancel your Twitter, but then how many of you all really intend to follow through and cancel? Put a 1 in the chat if you really intend to cancel. And I mean, you've made up your mind. Click, delete. If you've made up your mind, because listen, there are a lot of people that really need to deal with how we're gonna. I miss SK's comment. Will free speech be controlled by the people with money these days? That's exactly the issue that I'm saying that the country needs to look at. Everything is being controlled openly. Now, this is what I'll acknowledge, and I see you, Crazy Berry Town. She's on to something. When you can just buy your way into a political office, I mean, just literally buy your way. This is why I say we need to take money out of all of the dark money needs to go. We need to go back to elections that are not controlled and dominated by how many dollars somebody has in their coffers. But then here we have the ability. What was his name? Rupert Murdoch, is that his name? The guy that basically owns all of the come on in here, Michelle Brownell. There's my moderator. You have to say, is that his name? Y'all, I believe something like that. This man, if you really get down to it, owns all of the newspapers, and so at the end of the day, when you look up and see all of the newspapers, the identical article in this newspaper is in that newspaper, and at the end of the day, it's like, come on in here. She is First Lady T-Rail. So much love coming to you. At the end of the day, my question is, you don't have a Twitter account and you won't get an account. I see you. Now, I know some Twitter users in here. I'm on Twitter. I know it's some Twitter users in here, and I don't see nobody saying that you thinking about it, but who's going to actually get on your Twitter account and hit delete? Because that's basically what the far right is saying. Y'all just keep talking, but ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Politics is tick-tocking on. The madness is trying to march on. I see you, Cassandra. Absolutely, positively. So this becomes a real issue, because I'm gonna tell you what, the right is challenging you. Let me just serve notice on you. The right is challenging you and basically saying you ain't about to do nothing. So there you have it. Now, if everybody that said they're going to quit TikTok actually does, TikTok's going to plummet right on into the ground. But that's going to take a movement of solidarity where everybody that's saying they're going to do it is going to have to actually do it. Or it's going to be, I heard the buzz, I heard the tweets, I heard the chirping of the bird, but at the end of the day, y'all ain't about to do nothing. And TikTok's going to keep going just like it is currently. So at the end of the day, you have it, but you never use it. Now, if they said delete my Amazon, I might have a quandary on your hand. I see you, Tall Pumps. Listen, Amazon, she is First Lady T-Rail said, you have it, but you never use it. I see you. If we get the exodus that everybody says they're going to do, it will have an impact. I got a feeling that the right is not far from the truth. That there are a lot of people that are alleging they're going to cancel their account, but I have a feeling that a lot of people are not going to cancel their account because, okay, DJ Onyx Hart said he just deactivated his Twitter account because there's a lot of business and a lot of connections. Connectivity is what it's about. There's a lot of connectivity in Twitter that people do not want to lose. So there's I want to deactivate reactivate it, but then are you going to actually do it is a whole nother thing. You are on, and now you know it ain't nothing to get with. I got you, Cassandra. I got you. So therein lies the question. Elon Musk, she is First Lady T-Rail. Elon Musk just purchased Twitter 44 million. He was threatening a hostile takeover, and we talked about it, I want to say a week or two ago. He was threatening a hostile takeover. He wanted to be on the board. The board said no. Then he's like, okay, I'll just buy you. And they held out. But now let's talk about this for a second, folks. Did they hold out to make the money, to make the price tag go higher? I just, inquiring minds want to know. Did they hold out to make the price tag of the sale go higher, or did they genuinely not intend to have this man take Twitter over? Now, me personally, because I know the way dirty corporation and big money works, I personally believe they held out to get a bigger dollar. So you thought 44 mil was a little low, Rebel? Well, it was higher than what he originally was offering, I believe, Rebel. I think it was originally lower than the 44 mil. I think that price is higher. Now, this is a conversation that I looked at, Rebel, while you're there. Why is that price low? Because at the end of the day, money talks and BS walks. I see you, DJ Aurora Onyx Heart. This is the thing, Rebel. Out of all of the social media giants, Twitter, even though it's been out there a long time, is still very, very small in comparison to the others, Rebel. So this is a conversation, and I'm just mirroring back what I looked at, watched videos, and read on this morning. They said that Twitter is so, and the idea and hope, I guess, is that they're going to be able to rebreathe some kind of life into it to get it on the same level. TikTok, everything else has eclipsed Twitter, came after Twitter, and Twitter's still just a little bitty baby in the mix. So that's some of the precipitating factor as to why that dollar amount seems to be so small in comparison to what we see to the others, because it's still more or less in an infancy. It never did grow up and mature. It's dwarfed. Can I call it a dwarf? It's dwarfed. So this is the hope that they'll be able to get it up to speed like everything else. I just really have to figure and wonder. It was 41 bill. Thank you. Thank you, SK. The original offer was 41 bill. So he went up another 3 billion. He went up another 3 billion, which leads you to question, is Black Twitter different or just conversation of Black folks on Twitter? Good question, because I think it's all one and the same, personally, Tall Pumps, because at the end of the day, I would think that if you were using the name Twitter, which I'm sure probably is registered, if it was not part of one and the same, I would suspect there'd be some kind of infringement involved just in the use of the term Twitter. And that's just me thinking. I don't know that for sure, but that's just what I suspect, that Twitter is brand. That is a brand. And I'm sure it's a registered brand. And I don't care if you say white Twitter, green Twitter, orange Twitter, Twitter's Twitter is branded. And if you use any level and part of that name once it is registered, no ma'am, no sir. So that's just what I'm thinking is the case there. It used to be just a conversation between Black folks. Thank you, Rebel. Yes. And so we're coming on down. So at the end of the day, is it even worth what he paid? Now, this is the other question I'm going to ask. And so I'm going to play a little bit devil's advocate here. So as we look at, these are my VIPs popping up, y'all. These are my VIPs. As we look at this situation, okay, so now let's say all of the left cancels their Twitter account. Now I'm just playing devil's advocate. Let's say all of the left goes out there and cancels your Twitter account. Now you have an entity that is expressly for the right to get out here and carry on their foolishness and say, we didn't make y'all leave Twitter. Y'all left of your own free will and accord. So now that there's nothing left here but the right, and we can have all the racist right conversation that we want to have, then I'm going to say, but we didn't ask y'all to leave. Y'all left on your own. Are we setting up and are we walking into a trap? That's exactly what they wanted you to do. That becomes a $64,000 question to me. Is this movement of Elon Musk purchasing Twitter by design? Because y'all know, come on, let me just back up here. Isn't Trump supposed to have started social media? It isn't Trump supposedly. It's reported to me. Wasn't he supposedly to have started some kind of social media? Now, question number one. Question number two, if he did, what kind of traction is it getting? Because at the end of the day, this man and his social media, I ain't heard nothing about it. Trump and his little social media with his little wee-wee. I ain't heard nothing about his social media platform that he was making. So if you get a platform like Twitter that's already out there and already saturating the market, if you get something like Twitter that he doesn't have to start from the ground up, because apparently whatever it is he started from the ground up, it ain't making no buzz as far as I'm aware. I haven't seen anything in any kind of newspaper, any kind of information source that's talking about, oh my goodness, Trump's platform, his social media platform that he created has blown up. I ain't heard nothing like this. So is this actually the means by which to have a format with a company that's already saturated in the market? Is that what's going on here? I'm just saying, we got to wake up and smell the coffee, because there's more than one way to skin a cat. So at the end of the day, that's a question that's looming in my head. Is this by design, and are we walking into the trap? Even to the point that the right came out and started challenging the left. Folk ain't going nowhere. This is the same talk they said. And is that really something that's being done and said to get us in an uproar? Because listen, these are calculated decisions. These are calculated decisions and movements. Don't think somebody just jumped out here and did something. This is all calculated. If it's chess, we're playing chess. If I move this man here, you may move your man there, but I'm 3 steps ahead of you, and 3 steps ahead of you, I plan on capturing your king. Are we playing chess here? That's my real question. That's my real question. I see you fairly all day. That part, the very reason why you maintain your account and lurk. So at the end of the day, I'm just it's probably out there in the dark web. I see you, Rebel. And so yes, little wee wee, that's what it is, little wee wee. So at the end of the day, I'm just like, the deal was an insider job. Tall Pumps, I see you saying that. Lovey 54, I'm just saying, I feel like this is some little wee wee power out here playing chess. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying to us, pay attention. Everything is not the way that it appears. Have you ever had a situation in life, and I know you have you ever had a situation in life where you realized and recognized there was someone in your world that was manipulating you? They had already, I told somebody, I said, when I'm asleep at night, they laying up figuring and laying plots and plans. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? There's some people, this is just what they do. They plot, they plan, and they play chess. If I move this, and I suspect you're going to answer me with that move, and I'm telling you, some folks have already set and plotted and thought about this thing 5, 6, 7 moves out. Is this the plan? And are we about to fall into that plan? I'm just saying, I want us to pay attention. You've seen signs in the rural areas with some crazy web addresses. That's probably, I got you. And I'm just saying, pay attention. Watch. The Bible said, watch, SK, Mother M. Bible said, watch and pray. And she said, I pray with my eyes open. Good morning. morning. Chazzylicious is cooking. Come on in here, Queen. We're having a conversation. She is a streamer and she's about to be the first partner, the first cooking partner, the first black cooking partner, the first female black cooking partner on Twitch. Come on, and if you're not following her, please follow and then go out there and engage with her. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. So y'all get out there to the Soul Trap Kitchen and let her bless you real good. So at the end of the day, y'all, I'm throwing all this out here at you because this is the news and the conversation that happened while it slumbered, while it slept, and while it slobbered. What had happened was they told me all of this was going on, but I'm still saying to you, I need y'all to pay attention. I need y'all to pay attention because everything is not just straightforward. There's some other schemes and there's some other work and there's some other forces that are going on here. So pay attention. And so, yes, if we all walk away and we leave Twitter as the rights tool to, we got our own social media out here. I just need y'all to, did we do that? Did we create that? You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So I did want to stop and touch on that this morning. Folks are buzzing. Folks are upset. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, I'm going to come here for a second because this is a real story, even though y'all might think I'm about to make this up. I promise you, this is a whole story. But I want y'all, I'm not even going to play the clip. But I want y'all to know what's going on out here in these here streets. So now listen, I want you to know that Utah's Westminster College is now offering porn class where the students will watch and dialogue and actually talk about and critique porn in class. Porn in class. Yes, at Utah's Westminster College. Now, how many of y'all taking that class? How many of y'all taking that class? This is a legit class where you get credits, y'all. I think it's 2 credit at porn class, DJ Onyx Heart. I believe this ain't no made up stuff. This is the truth. This is the truth. They are having porn class. Now, it's 2 credit hours. And the idea is you top that class. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you what, Chazzylicious Tall Pumps, there's some folk out there that gonna start sweating bullets because they're gonna be like, listen, somebody just might see you. Somebody just might see me out there. You thought it was just listen, you know who's gonna answer from. Seeking to develop. Listen, y'all, this would fall under the category of you can't make this stuff up. This is a true story. They are giving 2 credit hours and they're saying, just like they critique other freedom of speech literature, this is Crazy Berry Town. This might be the class that you want to go teach. Can they do it virtual? This is some schools already had that years ago. Shut up. She is First Lady T-Real. I did not know that. Now, this is new to me. This is new to me. I did not know that schools were already having porn classes. So, you know, I thought this was jaw-dropping to me because I just cannot imagine going to school and listen, I see y'all, Chocolate Testimony is listening. And now this is the thing, Chocolate Testimony, are we about to see some beautiful bean footage of you? Are we about to see some beautiful bean foot of you, Chocolate Testimony, out here testifying? That's all I want to know. Are some of y'all gonna be out here testifying? Fine. Tall Pump says somebody done stole your content. I'm just trying to say this too much. This is too much. You going back to get your degree? Listen, is that class taught in a darkened theater? Inquiring minds want to know, Stacy, because this class right here, I just can't. Who in the whole heaven and earth thought of having a porn class, an actual porn class? They said they're going to critique it. They're going to study it for its elements. the words that are coming out of my mouth. They're going to study it for its elements. They're going to discuss culture. They're going to discuss so many things. I'm sure they are. They're going to discuss so many things. And they all moaning in class. You getting that degree, Rebel? I cannot believe this. Now, at the end of the day, you know, we know it's out there. We know that it's, you know, there is a market in Mormon country. Inquiring minds want to know. Come on in here. It is the solo raid from LaWanda Baskerville. Y'all better give it up for it. Give it up for it. Give it up for it, because it's a raid, y'all, from LaWanda Baskerville. It's a raid. Going out to the whole entire set in my Oh my God. DJ Stacy Blesswood is a streamer. She's in the room, y'all. Come on in here. And if you're not following her, follow her. Now we doing this one solo raid for LaWanda Baskerville. Yes, she is the moderator extraordinaire, y'all. She's the moderator extraordinaire. Welcome, Raider. Now, this is what I want us to identify. Did y'all note the place at which LaWanda Baskerville showed up for action? She reported, it was reported to me, she reported when I started talking about this porn class that you can get 2 credit hours for at Westminster College. When I started talking about what you could get with this porno class at Westminster College, that's when the solo raid came. I just want you to pay attention. I just want y'all to pay attention. That's when she showed up on cue, baby. She showed up on cue. I'm just bringing that out. I'm just bringing that out. You was lurking. It was too much. Stacy Bless one. It's too much. Oh my God, today y'all check Stacy Bless one out. That's my girl. I'm just trying to say, LaWanda, I'm not trying to point you out. I'm not on Front Street. I'm not trying to do any of that, but I'm just saying it was reported to me. You didn't show up until I start talking about porno in the classrooms. So I love you too, Stacy 546. I want you to have a marvelous, marvelous, marvelous day. So at the end of the day, that would be your position in the ministry, sis. I'm trying to tell y'all doing too much in here. This is too much. This is too much. Now, at the end of the day, I just really have to challenge, how is this helping their educational, I don't know. I'm trying to see. Rock that raid, Wanda. God see you, Cassandra. We see you showing up for the porn lessons. I'm just trying to understand. Now, I have a hard time reconciling the fact that they want to say and claim that all of this is a matter of trying to, baby, everything's in that class. Everything's in that class. I'm telling you. So I'm just like, somehow, some way, how many twists and how many twists and turns porno. I was getting ready to say that, but I think that's not the best combination. How many twists and turns on a porno? Let's see. I don't know if there's any kind of way I can describe this scenario without it getting crazy. But at the end of the day, I have a hard time. You get ready to get the slideshow together, Tall Pumps. Lord Jesus. I'm just saying good morning to you, LaWanda. So much love coming to you. I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den. A spiritual, one reason, I've written my own name. One reason is in the room. He is a streamer, y'all. This is my brother, and he's the bishop of Twitch. Come on in here, brother. And he showed up for the porn class too. That's all I'm gonna say. And DJ Stacy Bless one came out of Lurk. Yes, she did. She came out of Lurk when we started talking about the porn. I just want y'all to pay attention. I just have to wonder, that's not what I meant when I said have your camera ready, Tall Pumps. That is not what I meant when I said have your camera ready. Listen, Tall Sound bumps. She's trying to fix this thing up for herself. She's trying to make it work, y'all. She's trying her best to make it work. Because at the end of the day, there you go. All subjects will... Royal confessions. All subjects in this class will be hard. I just don't know about y'all. I just don't know about y'all. Y'all too much. Y'all too much. Ooh, Lord Jesus. This takes me back to when First Lady T-Rail, she and her husband came in and they were teaching us about Tantra. So, you know, I'm telling you, now Tantra, I can see that being a class. Come on, DJ Aurora Onyx Heart. I see you exiting stage left. Okay, so let me bring this back to you. Let me bring this back to you. This is what we were on one reason. At the end of the day, Utah's Westminster College is now offering porn class for 2 credit hours. The college is offering porn classes where they sit and watch porn and critique it. And now they're saying they're doing it from the structure of culture, understanding other things. So listen, somebody said it will cause them to discuss social issues. Social issues. Listen, one reason, I think it's just an elective. So, you know, I guess if you need 2 credit hours someplace, hey, there's a porno class waiting on you. This is some crazy stuff. So, I don't know, you know, and I'm going to pay for it. You know, now y'all know credit hours are not cheap. When you go and you get out here and you take these college courses, credit hours are not cheap. I just cannot see. You can see it. Okay, we got one in here. I feel you. One reason he said sociology, and this is what the people are saying. This is what people are saying, and it is. Now understand that Westminster is a private liberal college. This isn't just in your regular JUCO or some other. This is a private a liberal arts college. So at the end of the day, I don't know. And they say that just what you said, one reason, social issues surrounding porn. Social issues surrounding porn. Now, I don't think everybody that's in that class is there trying to learn and discuss social issues. And especially you're talking about predominantly, not all, but predominantly young kids straight out of high school. Listen, that class is going to be stacked to the gills. Because you're going to have a whole bunch of little kids out here. She is First Lady T-Rail. Because listen, when you and T-Rail came in here and gave that instruction, listen, I think that was probably the hottest stream we've ever had. The most highly viewed stream we've ever had. That's how you got in here. JB, come on in here. Many videography techniques started in porn. Often the adult film industry is the start of many director of photography's first paid gigs. I hear you, JB. So here, come on now. We in here laughing, but we got folk coming in with serious conversation on how this can be a very helpful and enlightening class. There's no way I can describe this without, you know, a helpful and enlightening class, whatever. But I hear you, JB. Many videography techniques started in porn. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I'm glad that class is full already, DJ Stacy Bless One. That class is going to always have a waiting list, in my opinion. So, yes, it's a private liberal school. It's a private liberal school. Uh-oh, she came and said her porn name is Snowflake. About y'all, but inquiring minds want to know, and they're going to take this course. So that was buzz on yesterday that they have come out and publicly said this is a class that we are now offering, and there you have it. So, you know, I'm just trying to tell you that's what we're dealing with in 2022. Now, I do want to acknowledge, like JB said, there are many techniques that were started in porn. I really had not thought about it from that perspective. perspective, and I'm really being serious. I really had not thought about it from that perspective. But at the end of the day, that is a true statement. So, as well as a lot of the other independent films that are out there, and I think that even somebody like and moving away from porn, but just talking about film and independent photographers and independent producers out there, I think my guy, I can see him, I can say him, oh, what's my guy that does all the black films? Y'all help me, because I'm drawing a blank. My little guy that does all the black films. Oh shoot. But anyway, his independent Spike. Thank you so much, Rebel. I could see him in my mind's eye, but I could not pull his name out. Spike Lee. A lot of his techniques, a lot of his ideas, a lot of the approaches that he's done to be different with the way that he films a movie and everything else, those have really been trend-setting scenarios. One reason said he can see it being in sociology and in film majors. So at the end of the day, yes, tall pumps. The wide camera view, the close-up action shot, and the climax, etc., etc., etc. Tall Pumps is on the loose, y'all. Tall Pumps is on the loose. But at the end of the day, I do say I really had not given that perspective, JB. I really had not given it that perspective. One reason, I heard what they were saying about the sociology and everything. I don't know, something down in my shondo just is like, really. I have to question. Okay, so let me come back to this point. And I know you all are saying, for the purpose of sociology, study of film and history, and so at the end of the day, our young people coming straight out of high school, ready to handle that from the adult mature perspective, and maybe they are, I don't know, but at the end of the day, I don't know that everybody coming straight out of high school, and I'm still dealing with those ages and level of maturity and thought processes. I mean, I see, and I've understood them to have challenges just to understand something not as charged and controversial as porn, and they just can't think at the level of being able to critique and analyze. They go someplace totally different with it. I don't know. Just think about it. When you were 17, 18, 19 years old, if you had gone straight to college and been afforded the opportunity to take a porn class, do you really think that your focus would have been on critiquing it for the sociology and critiquing it for the film, for the historical aspects and elements of technique and what they brought to the table and all of that? I don't know. Somehow or another, come on, I see you, KB Browns. Come on in here, my brother. This is my brother. I love you so much. Come on in here, Dr. Dady Priest. This is the High Priestess, and if you are not following the High Priestess, follow her. Please follow her, because she will bless your whole life. Listen, we're in here talking about school, and we're in here talking about the fact that this private school, Westminster College in Utah, is now offering porn class for 2 credit hours where they sit down and watch porn movies. JB said Kinsey was a revolutionary in the field of sociology due to high study of human mating and sex. Now that is true. His work was done in a university and was one of the first global conversations of human sexuality. Come on with that knowledge. Come on in here with that knowledge. So at the end of the day, I hear you talking. I guess something down inside of me, there's that beautiful lady. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Look at that. That was Dr. Dady Priest. I don't know. Somehow or another, I am probably stunted in my expansion of thought, because I just think it's going to be a whole bunch of little horny kids in there. I just think it's going to be a whole bunch of little horny kids in there in that class watching porn. Are they even going to get the meat? Not the meat. I can't talk about this topic. Are they going to get the gist of what this is really designed to get at. I just don't know. I just don't know if they're really mature enough at that level to be able to handle that. I just don't know. I just don't think that they're ready. Risha Jones is in the room. Come on in here, sis. I just don't. Listen, I brought you out alert today too, didn't I, Risha? I love you, sis. Thank you for coming in. You know, there's no way I can describe it, Shelly Thunder. There's no way I can talk about this without saying what words, Lovey, do I use to try to say what I'm trying to say. So yes, reason they have sex ed, and I agree with that. And I think they need it. I think that they need it. I really, really do. At the same time, I just don't know. KB Brown said there's no way they'll be able to handle that. Some adults can't handle it, Risha. Some adults can't handle it. They get hot and start sweating and carrying on and you want to accost somebody. So, you know, I don't know. They're going to watch it if they want to watch it. I agree. I love the conversation. Y'all talking to me over here. Let me just read y'all's thoughts. They're going to watch it if they want to watch it. I hear you. Listen, the football team, the basketball team, the swimming team, baby, there might be a high incidence increase in pregnancy on that campus. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Brown Eyes 777, come on in here. DJ T-Rail showed up and he's on the scene. This is my brother and he is a streamer. He's the other side of that tantra that I was talking about just a few minutes ago. Anyway, he's here, y'all. He's here. And I want y'all to appreciate him. Thank you so much. He's a streamer. Please follow him if you're not. They're not emotionally stable enough at that point. That's all I'm saying, Dr. Dady. I'm not fighting the idea of the validity, all the things that I've heard in this chat. But I'm like, I just don't feel like 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds going into college are ready to sit and watch porn and do anything other than sit there and be horny. Maybe you'll have one or two. Now, as I said, there's going to be a class out the yang yang. I just can't describe this conversation. There's going to be people lined up all across the way, and this class is going to have a backlog. It's going to have a waiting list. But of that waiting list of people to get in that class, how many of them are going to actually be mentally and emotionally mature enough to really take that class? I there's something down in my shondo, because I'm like Risha said, there's some adults that can't handle that. So I surely don't think the little kids are going to be able, well, I shouldn't say little kids, they've graduated, but still at the same time, you know, and this is probably some of my age. I'ma just say Dr. Dady's better than me because she's at least on the fence. I just don't see it having the same. I know what it says on paper, and JB is tearing it up. JB is all over it. So I love that opposing point of view and bringing just all kind of heavy fact data. Come on with it. I love it. I just think that the maturity level of these kids taking this class, no ma'am, no sir, in my opinion. The mental maturity for most is not there to receive the educational intent, but most adults don't have it either in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Come on. You know how we do it in here. This is Yes You O Cubed, no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it T-I-Z tis. And I know you telling the truth. I know some 40, 50, and 60-year-old folk that's not ready to watch that. So, you know, I don't know. If they talk about the unrealistic expectations in the film, that would be interesting. I hear you, One Reason. I agree with you on that. Can the instructor handle the class? Listen, is now, I'm not trying to be funny. Is the instructor a perv? Is the instructor a perv? Because listen, some of these folk, everybody ain't. I'm just okay. So SK, y'all talking to me? I'm loving this. SK said, take the mystery out and discuss real issues. You hope that women are uplifted beyond sexual objects. I'm loving this conversation. I'm just gonna listen. Let me just sit back, because you know I'm gonna tell you, I feel like in some ways my bias is not about the open discussion of sex. I think it needs to be had, and I think it needs to be had at a young age. I'm just saying, And so for anybody that may be wondering, yes, I have seen some porno. So if somebody be like, well, spiritual thought leader, you don't even know what porn, what they got. I have seen, ain't much plot to it. It's just snatch your clothes off, something stupid, and let's get busy. So at the end of the day, it ain't about the plot because there's not one there. Come on in here, Miss Robin. So good to see you. So at the end of the day, you know, yeah. Now, so at the end of the day, I'm just looking and I'm saying, yes, take the mystery out and discuss real issues. I agree with you there. I'm still saying for people at that age, on most scenario, in most cases, I just have to wonder about their real ability to be emotionally and mentally ready to handle it. Even though there are some. If the professor is focused on the class will be fine. I hear you one reason, and then I'm gonna say what I said again. You know, at the same time, if the professor is a perv, we got issues. The assumption in this chat is that they are watching the porn suited to them. Okay, I hear you. JB said the assumption in this chat is that they are watching the pornography that's suited to them. Okay, most of us are exposed to many things way before we should be. I hear you, Chazzy Licious. Y'all talking to me, and I'm just listening. I'm just at this point, I'm checking it out. Porn name is Big Daddy. She is First Lady T-Rail. And she is talking about her husband. For anybody that's tripping, she talking about her own husband. I ain't mad at y'all with the porn names. I'm not mad at y'all. Y'all listen, keep the spice in. Keep the spice in. She is First Lady T-Rail. I ain't mad at you. You missed the rationale. What is the class for? Okay, so they're saying, Dr. Dady, this is for it's a private liberal arts college, Westminster in Utah, and they're saying that they're going to discuss social issues surrounding porn, and they're also looking at the ability to address how porn has been impacting in our society. And somebody came in, JB did a very good point in saying a lot of the film techniques were actually started from porn. A lot of the film techniques, and of course Tall Pumps was happy to bring us in on what those techniques were. A lot of techniques, a lot of new innovative, it happened out here with the independents out here being creative and doing things. And so this, in a sociology kind of context, in a film history kind of context, is the rationale, I'm going to say. And I'm looking, and again, I'm just saying, my question, Dr. Dady, at that level, because I'm assuming as we talk about private liberal arts college, we're coming out of high school and matriculating or going to those particular schools. And so my question on the porn period, are we feeling like the kids can handle the porn that they're getting ready to sit there and watch? And I'm saying, from my perspective, I don't know that they're emotionally, mentally ready to just be able to get what the class is supposed to teach. But I'm loving the difference, because a lot of us are really, I love this conversation. Y'all talking to me this morning, and I'm loving it. Much of a classroom setting is being exposed to new ideas and things that you've not been exposed to. And so we're moving education on to another level. I got you. We're moving education on to places that it has not existed before. I hear you. So I'm listening. I'm coming on down. Come on. I'm looking. We barely got folk to act right in the workplace to look at women as equal and not sex objects. And so I hear you on that one, Risha. Now, I will say this, because as we're in 2022, I see many men who are being used as sex objects too. And so that's a two-way street. It's a different day. So, you know, I'm looking and I'm saying, Lovey, I see your bugging eyes. It will probably be a joke at the beginning. However, the instructor can change that perception. Okay, and so Royal Confessions, you're basically bringing out a point similar to One Reason, who's saying if that instructor is effective in what they're doing, they can really walk away from that class enriched by a learning situation and a learning experience that could be transformative. So I hear Shelly Thunder, a lot of it is unrealistic. And go ahead and get you a sip. Go ahead and get you a sip. Listen, you know how we do it over here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it Tiz, even when we talk about the porn. So come on now. So the only thing those kids get in that class for is to freely watch some porn. She is First Lady T-Rail said, let me break this down for you. Everybody that's listening, while y'all doing all of this talking, these kids are going to that class so they can freely watch some porn and get credit hours for it. I don't know. So at the end of the day, I hear ya. Good morning, Barbara Hardy. That's my girl. Come on. I'm so glad to have you in here. That class would have to really be well constructed. I hear you. There was a time when local TV barely showed kissing. Now they show so much sexual content. You have to monitor your kids watching in family show, and it's all kinds of sexual connotations that are inappropriate for youth, but you still have it, and it's all over social media. I got you there. Thank you for sharing your point, Chazzylicious. That's why a lot of dudes take women's studies classes thinking they're going to pick up ladies. It doesn't matter what the class is. I hear you. Come on, y'all talking to me this morning. It would need to be well constructed with women's input. I hear you, Risha. Come on here and stand up for the ladies. You agree with that? Some guys only see a sex object when it comes to women, and that is a problem that's in this world. Coming on down. Dr. Dady said, while that can work from the perspective offered, I still say there is an emotional intelligence component that may either be picked, it's not balanced enough to handle it, peaked, or could be just fine. There would need to be a lot of intentional prep work with a focus on the specifics. And I'm with you on that, Dr. Dady, for sure. Them youngsters will leave class looking for KB Browns. Some of them ain't gonna leave class looking for it, honey. It's gonna be I got all kind of things. I got all kind of questions. I got questions, KB Browns. I got questions, because listen, it's gonna be a whole lot of frustration and other things going on in that class. I'm just saying, if your mind isn't fully mature until 25 years old, these kids are not ready. That's really where I'm coming from. She is First Lady T-Rail. Now, some are, and again, that number is, we put that out there and we say, at a certain age, there is going to be somebody that is not going to fit the norm. There are going to be some children that are mature enough and ready prior to 25. However, when you talk about in mass, for me, my answer is no. And I'm saying that, and Dr. Dady even more so, because I know I went in the school system as a contracted worker, so I'm not in there every day. Dr. Dady is an administrator in the school system and has had many, many years in there, so I'm going to trust her where she's at. I'm just saying, for the times that I've been in school, and I've seen, and I'm talking about seniors, juniors and seniors ready to graduate, they were not ready. And as a whole, they were not ready, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. They were not ready. I don't see them coming out of junior seniors that I saw in the school system walking into a college credit course, 2 credits to watch some porn. I just, something down in my shondo says no. Boy, we never had conversations like this in Sunday. Hey, it's happening. Men are not going to talk about their abuse. And come on, there are many men that are abused, One Reason. And that's why I didn't want to flip that script. It's not just towards females, it's also toward males as well. And so we got to be clear on that. Come on. And not even then, there are still immature adults with one foot in the grave. I hear you, Shelly Thunder, that they're not ready. The kids do not need the class to watch porn, even in a group setting. The class costs money. Most porn is available for free. free. Come on here, JB. Come on, JB. It's better to talk about it than to leave it and let it sit in secrecy. Come on here. Now, listen, this is why we talk. This is why we have Yes You O Cube. This is why it's one-on-one, just me and you, because I'm having a conversation with each one of you, and y'all talking to me this morning. And thank you for doing so, because at the end of the day, this may be transformative. We talked about, even as I was going to talk about transformative justice, maybe these are some areas that are going to help us to be transformative and not get caught in the same. Because listen, secrets, and when folks think something is a secret, y'all know that secrets will kill you. And then if somebody's got a secret, everybody wants to find out what's the secret. So the mystique and the mysterious, maybe we need to get away from that. Dr. Dady, years ago, you were totally unaware that Nickelodeon at night was way too much for your niece, and you wasn't paying attention. And she told me, and you told her she couldn't watch it. That is a true statement, because it's getting more and more sexualized, younger and younger and earlier and earlier. And I'm going to tell you, some of these cartoons, now it's animated, true enough, but some of these cartoons are straight up adult viewing now. So for all of y'all that are just sitting your kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews in front of these TVs and saying, oh, this is just a cartoon, these cartoons can be heavy. So don't assume just because it's animated and it's a cartoon format, baby, some of that is way off the chain. So don't be deceived. You will say, when you work in the health field, you see naked bodies, but you train to look at the body as health and a care subject. Come on here. I agree with you on that. I agree with you. Come on. Somebody said nothing good comes on after dark. These grown adults, y'all hear me? If my freshman son called us and said, we watched porn in class today, I'm rolling up to Knoxville to chat with that professor. Well, but this is the thing, KB Browns. This is being offered as a class and an elective that you can choose. So the child would have enrolled in class and paid for the class. And so at the end of the day, okay, JB, I'm gonna take you for that. He's calling me that I keep saying children, but this class is for adults. And so what I'm going to say to that, and I do, let me back up again and acknowledge, because I call my grown nephews, those are my babies, and I talk to them. These are my babies. These are my. But listen, I don't have not near one of them under 30 something. Or no, I think I do have a couple in their late 20s. But they're all grown adult men, and the youngest one is married with children and has a whole family and the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to acknowledge that they are adults. But adults by legal age of 18 here in Missouri, and I would think in most states, but there are different legal ages across different state boundaries. I'm still addressing, for me, just because my legal age says I'm an adult doesn't mean that my mind is an adult. I've seen folks in their 30s and 40s who are still not adults. So I don't know. Lovey, half the class won't be able to get up. Baby, they're going to be walking bent over. Listen, and I'm going to tell you what. I'm concerned, because I think aromas and smells are going to start coming up in that classroom, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I think aromas and smells are going to start coming up in that classroom, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm going to move right on, Lovey. I'm going to move right on. Now, they could have a discussion about it, but watching it, I hear you, KB Browns. So again, we're talking about the idea. These people they're adults. Let me go back to JB, because JB's taking me to task all the way. I love it. These are adults. We're saying they're adults. They're at least adult age, getting in college, and so But I'm gonna tell you what. I promise you, I know some 30-year-olds and some 40-year-olds right now that still do not have a fully mature mind. And I'm just saying, I'm just calling a spade a spade. Communication, conversation will help us reform our nation and ourselves. Come through, Cassandra Woke. So what are you going to talk about if you don't know? Come on through. One reason. These cartoons ain't like Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny. These cartoons, I'm trying to tell you, and I'm catching up. I'm going to come on down and I'm going to bring it down. I know 60-year-old that ain't mature. Come on, One Reason. And that's all I'm trying to say. Baby, they going to be singing Wipe Me Down. Not a fan. Young people's hormones are just too high. They already are experimenting. Someone in the class can be confused that women are sex objects only. Thank you, Brown Eyes 777. And that has been brought up in the conversation. And thank you for reiterating that we do have to deal with some of these concepts. Different problems, but problems nonetheless. So I'm listening to y'all. They probably require you. Tall Pumps. I need to see if I can read your comments before I just start reading. They probably require release yourself prior to class at least once if triggered easily. The class disclaimer. I don't know. In art, you look at the naked body as an art subject. Come on, Risha. I hear y'all talking. I hear you all talking. Everything gonna be... And I'm gonna close with that. She is First Lady T-Rail. Everything gonna be sticky. So at the end of the day, this is something that it's launched. It's not something that's going to happen. It's already out there, and this class is offered. Is this going to catch on? Is this going to move into other institutions of higher learning? We're here. It's a new day. This is 2020, y'all. This is 2020, and I love the diversity in this conversation because everybody is coming from different perspectives and different trajectories. I love that, and nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Everybody is entitled to their opinion and their perspective. I just thought this was a topic. In case you didn't know, I want to keep you all abreast of what's not abreast. I want to keep you all aware of what's going on out here in the world in which we live in 2022. Some of you all are still trapped back in the days of old, but it's a new day. It's a new wave. So at the end of the day, let's begin to make the adjustments. Let's begin. And I do feel like this is probably because the students that are coming in may be presenting, and I'm gonna go back to something that JB keeps pushing. Maybe the students that are coming in presenting at a level that the faculty is saying, we got to do something different. We've got to have a different approach. We've got to come from a different angle. Maybe this is actually being birthed out of need from what they're seeing in the students. I don't know. I have to say, you have the administrators and the faculty that are in touch and hands-on with those kids day after day after day. Maybe this is something that they said, hey, we need to address this area, and this is a way that we're going to address it. Maybe in 2022, this is what the students need. This is a direction that we need to go differently from teaching of old. So I'm gonna say this again, because a lot of us old heads, y'all see this gray hair on my head. It didn't just pop up in there for nothing. A lot of us old heads, we came from a different philosophy. Philosophies are going to change based on the need of the people and the need of the students. So again, I'm going to say this could be a direct result of the need that is now in the classroom with today's young people. And if you're out of touch with today's young people, I would say find you some young folk, engage them, allow them to engage with you and get a feel for what's out here. Because I'm telling you, even with the millennials that come on Reboot, part of the reason why I have Reboot is because it's a reality check. It's a reality check for a lot of people that are really out of touch with the way young people think, the way young people process, and the way young people operate in today's world. It is not like the world that we came from. It's just not. And if you're out of touch and not knowing how these young kids think and operate, then, I want you to engage. Don't pull away. Don't separate. Don't beat them down. Don't judge. I love JB. I'm gonna suspect that JB is probably much younger than I, and is coming in and taking me to task on several of these points in a very mature and educated way, I might add. So I love that. And some of these young people are really they are adult thinkers. Some of them, many of them are very adult thinkers. So don't just assume. So come on. KB Brown said, another question: when Pandora's box is open, who's setting the standards? I hear you. I hope they offer bullet points on sexual maturity, abuse, and STIs. Now you come on with that, Tall Pumps. And this is the thing that we have to know. sex workers typically are very well, if they work for a reputable organization that is recording the porn, they do above and beyond job with STIs, making sure that their stars and their workers, that their sexual health is maintained. So let me just interject that again, if they're working with a reputable group that's making porno, because listen, they're not trying to have all kind of STIs and stuff spreading all amongst their this is their bread and butter. I can't come up with nothing. This is how they make their money. So at the end of the day, they take very good care of themselves, even though you see them in these pornographic movies. And this is something that the kids need to understand too. So let's deal with sexual maturity. Let's deal with abuse issues, and let's deal with STIs. Because listen, let's go with abuse. If somebody say no, says no, no means no. I don't care who you are. And even for those that have this twisted concept that husbands have the right to rape their wives and wives have the right to rape their husbands, no means no. So there you go. There is porn made that is by female directors and producers that are not about the fetishism of women. Class is an opportunity to be exposed to new ideas like these that challenge derogatory ideas. Come on in here, JB. Come on in here. Many babies will be blamed on that class. Students will want hands-on training. I hear you, Cassandra woke, and a lot of other things are woke too. I'm trying to tell you. Back in my day of schooling, sex ed was talking about sex without the porn films, talked about how to be responsible. Come on, DJ Onyx Hart. You need to see the syllabus. What's the school? This is at Westminster College, and they are located in Utah. So go ahead and go out there and check them out. This is being offered. The 2023 academic year is the first year that they are rolling it out. It will be rolled out in 2023. So understand, for the next school year coming out, this will be offered to the students there. So here we go. And so I'm looking. Everybody wants to see that syllabus. So at the end of the day, like I said, I just want you to think about it, because times they are a-changing. This is a different day. This is a different season. This is a different hour. For some of you, this conversation is making you clutch pearls. I'm not here to try to make you clutch pearls. I just want you to know what's going on in the world in which we live. So at this point and stage, just rest assured, I don't think Westminster is going to be the only college that's going to be offering porn to the students to come in and watch as a class. Again, when we're talking about sociology and film history and all of the different things that come to the fore with that agenda and syllabus. So just so you know, for me, when I saw it, I'm telling you, this conversation has helped Spiritual Thought Leader. Can I just be transparent? This conversation has helped Spiritual Thought Leader, because I definitely immediately had not a rise in my Levi's, but something rose up in me that was like, I don't think so. And again, not from the religious standpoint. And my issue is not religiosity, because I'm gonna tell you what, religion is one of the worst places where people are taught inappropriately about sex. Now I'm gonna say what I said, and I'm gonna say it again. Church is one of the worst places to learn about the concept of right and wrong about sex. While you got preachers and missionaries and teachers and the Sunday school teacher and the deacons and everybody out here accosting people and all kind of sex going on, nobody wants to talk openly about sex. That is a problem. As if no sex is going on in the church. Not just in the right context of husband and wife. Y'all got to talk about sex from that standpoint, because the babies didn't just pop up out of the midair and the stork dropped them in the house and the church prayed and all of a sudden here was a baby. No, ma'am. Somebody was doing the do. So why it is, as Dr. Yvette Flunder so frequently talks about, between the navel and the knee. We need the conversation between the navel and the knee. We need to have that conversation about what happens between the navel and the knee, and don't act like it's not happening. That's why the preachers and the missionaries and everybody else with their wives and other people's wives and husbands too, they out here exploring between the navel and the knee, and then get up and preach and tell you don't do it. but they are fully satisfied and scouting everywhere, peeing everywhere, everywhere, just everywhere, hither, thither, and yon. So now we got to have conversation, and there does need to be some education in these areas. We're definitely not doing it in the church. And this is the thing I'm gonna say too, because then some of y'all become so prudish about sex. When y'all get married, y'all don't know nothing about nothing, and you sure can't keep nobody happy because you are clueless, and they done told you clank, clank, lock, lock, and y'all don't know nothing but that even when it's time to unlock, you still don't know how to unlock your goods. So at the end of the day, we need conversations. We need conversations. Come on, and education, everything must change. Utah is the polygamy state, it figures. Utah is also where polygamy is common. Perhaps this is a segue into that. I don't know. Y'all thinking the same things, and y'all said it back to back. And now, you know what I'm saying. Y'all know about the rise in the Levi's. She is First Lady T-Rail. So much love to you. Thank you for coming in. We're so glad to have you. We got to bring out the truth, Cassandra Woke. We got to bring out the truth. And we can't keep running around burying our heads in the sand as if I don't talk about it, then it won't happen. Oh, baby, it's happening. It's happening. Baby, they was making babies in the church house. It's happening. I'm just trying to say. Now, y'all don't want me to talk and tell the truth. I've seen them making babies in the church house. Y'all think I'm playing, but I'm telling you the real deal. I ain't playing. My terminology is killing you. I'm just trying to say real confessions. I'm just trying to have a conversation and do it in a way that folks ain't clutching pearls and falling out. But at the end of the day, there's a whole lot of sex going on in the church. Folks are shouting and dancing, and hips are moving and grooving, and folks are salivating and watching and getting happy and hard and everything. We need to talk about that. We need to now. Y'all talking about, oh, I felt the spirit. You felt something else moving too. So these are the things that we've got to talk about and stop playing, because then after y'all leave church, there's a whole lot going on, and some of it's going on in the church while y'all up here singing and hallelujah, praise you Jesus, and your cheering is down there making babies. And this is, I ain't talking about something that I think. I'm talking about what I've seen myself. I'm talking about what I've witnessed. I've seen flesh and blood has not revealed this to me. That's what Nicodemus, but listen, flesh and blood revealed this to me. I saw flesh and blood slapping and clapping and wasn't up in church singing no song. I saw flesh and blood slapping and clapping. So, I'm talking about in the church, I saw flesh and blood slapping and clapping. You understand the words that are I'm gonna say it one more time for the person in the back, because y'all think I'm lying. I was at the church house and went downstairs, and I saw flesh and blood slapping and clapping while church was going on. So we need to have these conversations. This is all I'm trying to say. We need slapping and clapping, DJ Onyx Hart. And so at the end, hallelujah, yes. So at the end of the day, these are conversations that we need to have. And these are conversations that, Janet, listen, you could have got a bag of popcorn and just, cause baby, they were going forth. They were going forth in the church house, slapping and clapping. And then somebody got up with the clap. Clap and sift. Somebody got up with the clap. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody got up with the STI at church. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. They was slapping and clapping until somebody got clap. We got to have these conversations, beloved. We got to have these conversations. This is real. This is real. And so I'm going to say, oh yeah, it's slap and clap happy saints. There is slap and clap happy saints out here in the streets. So these are conversations. We got to have these conversations, Risha. We can't, this isn't a generation that's going to let us continue to talk in cloaked, no, they're not beating around the bush. I just can't talk on this subject. They're dealing with truths and realities. And so at the end of the day, I don't know the clap or the clap back, all that in the bars. You understand what I'm saying, tall pumps? So at the end of the day, this may be for some people uncomfortable. We've got to stop being uncomfortable talking about real stuff. I see fire down there, Lovey. And listen, I saw fire. And some of them got up with fire in their loins. They laid down or stood up or got in the bushes with fire in their loins and then walked away with more fire in their loins. You understand what I'm saying? Once that STI got a hold of them. So, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like these are areas and topics that we must have, even though for some it's very uncomfortable. Some people may have logged off. Oh man, they talking about that. I ain't in that. But these are our babies. These are our young people, and these are our lives as well. JB, all of you all that came challenging me. One reason I appreciate the challenge. Listen, and listen, you all have helped me in broadening. I started to say widening, but I just can't. In broadening our perspectives. Tall pumps, I'm just all kind of words. I'm trying to look around and see what words can I use today. These are topics we must have. And these are burning. You understand what I'm saying, Lovey? Burning. They were burning in their loins. They were burning. The first burning led to a second burning, if you understand what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, these are conversations that we need to have. These are conversations that we must challenge ourselves to come out of the antiquated ice age of thinking. And we're going to have to deal with truth and reality. We're going to have to deal with truth and realities. So, you know, and we need to do it in a way that we can remain non-judgmental. And again, my judgment isn't from the religious perspective of the devil is loose. The devil been loose, y'all. The devil been loose. The devil been loose in the church. You understand? That's why some folk won't go back to church, because the devil been loose in the church from the pulpits and everybody else. The deacon board and the mother board, the devil been loose. So, and that goes male and female, not just men. Women, baby, women are out there picking up folks, boys and girls. Don't you fool yourself. There's women in the church getting little girls. There are women in the church getting little boys. There are men in the church getting little girls. And there are men in the church getting little boys. And then each of those are getting grown-ups too. So this is something we have got to talk about, y'all. We can't just keep burying our head in the sand. Like if I pray real hard and close my eyes and speak in tongues and turn around 3 times and anoint you with oil, the burning in your loins is going to go away. That's not going to happen. And we're going to have to talk about, as Dr. Yvette Flunders said, we're going to have to talk about what happens between the navel and the knee. And we need to have this conversation. All right. Real talk. We got to talk to our children, because if you don't, folks going to do it for you. And you're absolutely correct. They're going to learn it from somewhere. And why not let it be you? And why not let it be from somebody that loves and cares about them? And that's going to tell it to them right. All right. So there we go. I'm ready to get out of here. I hope that I said we were going to talk about restorative justice, but this is some restorative justice right here. Restorative justice talks about how to change the community so that we're not just looking at putting people in prison and going to jail. Because listen, there's somebody that is a sex addict today. There's somebody that has sexual urges that are out of control. There's somebody that's been sexually abused and manipulated. There's somebody that sex has impacted their lives in a positive and or negative way, where we need to have a conversation and we need to talk about it. So rather than take that person that may have an addiction, or someone that may have been abused and is acting out the same thing that was enacted on them, instead of taking them and putting them in jail as a sexual offender, maybe we need to have these conversations so that we can avert ourselves and our destiny from having to throw folk in jail every time you turn around. Maybe we need to deal with the deeper issue, and we could stop having to put folk in jail. How about that? So that's where I'm going with this conversation today, because I'm in a restorative mindset. It's called Deal with Reality, Risha. It's called Deal with Reality. So we got to do that. We've got to do that. And this is Yes You OQ, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader. And talking about sex is spiritual. For everybody that wants to jump up and say this wasn't spiritual thought leader, talking about sex is spiritual. So listen, it's a reality, and it's something that really impacts our lives that we need to have a conversation about. So the class is leaving an impression regarding sex. Is it the right perception? That's the problem I have with the class. I hear you, KB Browns, and I'm not here to tell you one way or another. I'm saying let every man be persuaded in his own mind, and you run your household and you deal with your children the way you do for everybody that's in here. We're just in here having information and conversation. And again, the idea, let's expand. Let's expand our ideas. Let's expand our thought processes. Let's expand. Some of us need to reconnect back to what's actually happening in the world today. And this has been a good conversation to help me reconnect. Come on, Fairly All Day. I want you to have a very productive day. Productive. I don't know about productive after this comment. No, I'm just teasing y'all. I'm just really playing. I love everybody that's here. 2 o'clock, we will be in the Heart Foundation with DJ Onyx Hart. Please meet us there, and we're going to have conversation with them. I want to invite everybody to come. That's 2 o'clock Eastern time. If you're on my Central's time zone, that's 1 o'clock. We will be there. Thank you so much for this conversation today. I'm going to continue talking about restorative justice because this is a topic that I think, as long as we're not seeing the police reform that we want to see in the world in which we live, we need to start talking about restorative justice and doing something different in our communities. Transformative justice in our community is absolutely essential. Thank you to everybody that came into this conversation on today. It's been wonderful. I have enjoyed every last one of you. And you have brought some good stuff to the table to give us some food for thought. So thank you. I appreciate you. I absolutely positively do. Now, let me get back to my screen here so we can get up out of here and we're going to have a good day on purpose, as Shelly Thunder always says. That's what we're getting ready to do. Okay? Well, I feel for my brother and I feel for my sister. There it is. Let me say it right, Shelly Thunder. Everyone have an amazing day on purpose. I'm so glad for all my streamers that are in here. Please, before we get out of here, put your streaming times if you would. I always mean to do this earlier on, but please put your streaming times in there because we want you to be supported by all the people in the Lion's Den. Now, this has been Yes You O Cube. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and it's just another day that we've had a good time to chat and talk about what's going on in the world in which we live. Listen, times, they are a-changing, and some of y'all gonna have to change with the times or be left behind. Now listen, I encourage and invite you, follow me. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more, baby. I'm out there, y'all. And you know this is our mantra. We don't have a spirit of intimidation. We don't have a spirit of fear. Even when it comes talking about sex, we don't have a problem talking about sex. Come on here, because we know it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Now, as we go on, I want you to know we don't have intimidation nor fear. We got power. We have love. We have a sound mind. And we are all powerful in love. Now, we don't just talk about change, but I want you to be the change. Will you not? And listen, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to walk it alone because it's us, you, me, we all, because we're all in this together. And I want you to be a part of this and have an awesomely great day. Now, come on here. For everybody that is supporting the stream, please copy that raid message, would you please? Brown Eyes 777. So much love coming to you and everybody that's in this stream today. I want to thank everybody for the Lion support that's coming in the den of activity. The Rebel Inc., Michelle Browno, Shelly Thunder, the absolute gems and jewels of this moderating team that come in and take care of us every day. To those that resubscribe, some of y'all 19 months strong, 19 months. SK8843, BTD Mom, and DJ Leo the Great, thank you for your resub. And we had a raid, y'all. We had a raid. It was a solo raid. LaWanda Baskerville, thank you so much for the raid. Now listen, you know how we do it in here. I want you to go out here and, as Shelly Thunder, my prophetess, has already spoken over your lives, have an amazing day on purpose and get peace for your journey.
Can you hear me? Life is real, yeah. And if there's a heaven above, please start showing a brother real love. Cause I wanna go home. Oh, I feel for my brother. I miss you, man. Oh, I feel for my brother. You're my brother. I feel for my brother. Oh, no, no. Feel for my brother. I wanna go home. for my brother.